Is the situation in the security sector a reflection of what's on the society generally?
Generally, the sector, it doesn't even exist anyway. I like to say security sector because it's my dream that one day before I die, just like we have health sector, we have education sector, we'll be able to have a security sector. We don't have one. But then let's just continue to pretend we do. You see, the security sector, as you said, is one that is so wide, so complex. The armed forces, even if we had 6 armies, cannot handle all of it.
But it's not just about the army right now. We have the police, we have the Civil Defense Corps, we have the DSS, which is supposed to handle internal. We have the paramilitary, we have the immigration, we have the customs and all of that. Are you saying all of this is not enough working with the military to ensure security in the country? Why is that so?
That's why I'm telling you that if you put all these uniforms, there are so many these days that they even confuse you. There are so many, some of them are so replicated that you wonder exactly what is happening. So it's like having too many people in a room struggling to go through one door. What do you get? You get confusion. You get confusion. What I'm simply trying to put to you is this. Even if we have the armed forces, 6 armies, 1 army per geopolitical zone, and we had all of those paramilitary institutions, and there were no results, there was no line of sight, there was no what you call performance and task trajectory, you will have a lot of people busy doing nothing. How do you begin to measure results? Just walk on the street and ask one Nigerian to score his sense of securedness on a scale of 10. Try to put everything you ever worked for in this world, and I'm talking about your children and wife now. Try to put them in a car and drive to your village by road. I know you won't do that. That's the litmus test. So all the badges, all the ranks, all the meetings, they're just, for me, smoke screens.
So when we look at what has happened in Malari in Borno State, just recent attacks,
yes,
and also in Benue State, we've also had some conflict and attacks also there, people being killed. Is Operation Realstone and Operation Lafia Dole, are they still working?
That's what I'm saying. Operation Realstone, Lafia Dole, call it what you like. It's not about the operation, it's about the results. They are not. Let me tell you something very, very simple so that people can, connect with what I'm saying. If Operation Lafia Dole or any of those security encumbrances we have in the name of solutions, or even SARS, if that was a product that came off a manufacturing line, and you had concerns from people saying that product is defective, that product is toxic, that product is dangerous for consumption, what happens? You take it off the shelf, you call it back. Totally recall. There is no sin in recalling some of these things and putting something else out there. That's the results-driven passion I'm talking about here. Let every single component of every single operation understand there's nothing personal here. It's about results. You're either going to give me results or you are going to give me results. That's 2 choices. Very democratic, isn't it? Cool. So just go there. You drew out your task. You told me what you can do. You told me the resources you required. I've given you all of those. Then dance. If you don't dance, sorry, you're out. I mean, it's...
We're looking at a situation where the Inspector General of Police said that he will deploy security details just about everywhere in the country to protect people, lives and property during this Salah celebration. Do you see that coming into that point where people feel confident to travel on the road? Because even coming to work this morning, So many people on the road trying to travel. Are they safe?
I said Chamberlain, sorry. Gimba, don't be deceived. He can't. I tell you, he can't. You know how big this country is? He can't. Period.
Okay, let's toss it over to Abuja. I understand that Ajuri has a question for you. Ajuri.
Yep, thank you, Gimba. Yes, Captain, I've been able to listen to your submissions, and I just want to ask you, obviously in view of yesterday's meeting between the Commander-in-Chief and the security chiefs, we saw one small difference. Some would say it might be a major difference, but the Director General of the DSS is now a new person, and the former DG of DSS is now not there. And I want to ask you, in view of reports that the former Director General of the DSS, Lawal Daur, was starving the Office of the National Security Advisor critical information concerning intelligence within the DSS, and that he essentially stopped having meetings that were customary before his tenure between the DG's office within the DSS and the state directors of the DSS. There have been concerns about how that affected intelligence gathering, and as a result, how operations were conducted on the ground. In view of that change, do you think that there is going to be a marked shift in terms of how these kind of multifarious challenges around the country will now be confronted?
It's left to be seen whether there will be a change or not. It's left to be seen, and I'll tell you why. The Law and Dauras of this world are not new to us. They've been there. We've just not taken time to do what I want to call a retrospective analysis of situations in the country. Let me give you 3 examples. Once upon a time, there was an officer who did not pass exams. Because he was favored and pampered, he rose to the top. But you know what? Later on, the very person who pleaded for him to be retained in that system paid with his life. It's history now. Next, we had another one. He was also pampered. And he got so pampered, he became so ruthless. Even his seniors were afraid of him. The third one is the one you are seeing in the ex-boss of the DSS. You see, if we begin not to run systems on meritocracy, and we run systems on godfatherism, that your child whom you say must not cry, he will make you cry one day. It's simple. We have people who are virtually spoon-fed in the system. When I was in service, I used to know a senior officer who never commanded an artillery regiment, but he rose to be a governor. So what's the point being in the artillery if you never commanded the smallest unit in the artillery? It's not only in the armed forces. The armed forces is a microcosm of Nigeria. And there's something they say, monkey see, monkey do. So what you do as legislators, executive, and judiciary is what the soldiers will do. Let people be known by the stripes they carry, and let them end those stripes.